I didn't realize this was Nicholas Courtney's last episode as Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart as a regular character.
Regular episode, yeah.
Regular. I mean, he shows up.
That's literally what I just said. It was his last episode as a regular character.
Okay, Jesus.
Yeah, he'll show up for one.
How are we going to have a working marriage if you won't even fucking listen to me?
It's not a working
miss
marriage.
you guys.
Oh, you missed a lot. Hey yo everybody, welcome back to Doctor Who Reviews. This week we are covering Tom Baker's first ever story on the show, Robot. And to discuss it with me I have three co-hosts. You heard me right, three co-hosts. Firstly, to my virtual left, if he were a Mega Man boss, he'd be Mirror Man. It's Freezing Inferno.
I'm amazed. I have to think now if they've done a Mirror Man yet. I'm sure they've done like reflecty weapons, but I'm thinking too much about robots from Mega Man when I should be thinking about the robot from the story. So
I think Enka had a Mirror Buster, didn't he?
Yes, thank you.
But he wasn't a Mirror Man.
There's a song from the Human League called Mirror Man.
Oh, stowing that away for future news.
Human League. They. I want your love action. It's just a distraction. I've got that stuck in my head, and you do too.
Great. To my virtual right, if you believe yours is the only way, then you're the fool who lives to die. It's Cat.
Aw, you do know me. Thank you.
And finally...
It's my way or the highway.
Indeed. And finally, at long last, people, the prodigal child has returned. It's Kuchiri!
Oh, hey guys. Hey, Rainiac. Yeah, no, I just got done binge watching all 29 episodes that I missed since the last time I've been on. What's been going on?
Oh, okay. Well, firstly, poor you, and secondly, you do know we're doing Tom Baker tonight, right?
Oh,
2 hours later.
So now that Kuchiri's caught up with what we're talking about, yeah, Robot.
Hey! I immediately apologized, because I had no idea we'd have to deal with more fascists.
I did as soon as you picked it,
What?
but I didn't want to say it because that would ruin the surprise.
I didn't remember how fashy they were, but holy shit, they are very fashy.
I mean, the one thing you can say is they're not Nazis, and that's about it.
Well, I mean, in the technical definition, yes, but at the same time...
I mean, their goals align, kind of, just replace dumb people.
They're totally not Nazis. It's not like they, at some point, wanted to kill millions and millions of innocent people. Oh, wait.
What I mean is they're not officially Nazis. They're like a Nazi-like group.
No.
Unspecified... Well, not unspecified. They've even got a name, but...
What a pleasant intro to the most popular classic Doctor, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Shall we jump right in?
Let's hop right in.
Let's do this.
Last time on Doctor Who, John Pertwee regenerated. Oof.
Yeah, and we see the aftermath of that at the beginning of this. And it's typical, post-regeneration trauma. It's done really well, I think.
Well, we say typical. Isn't this like maybe the second time that they've actually had it?
All right, now that we come to expect it, but here I'll grant you it was fairly new.
I mean, we haven't covered John Pertwee's first, but I mean, this Doctor doesn't spend half the story in bed because he's like, "Oh, I'm tired and I just regenerated. I need a nappy."
There was some time skip though in the episode, because it looks like it was like 2 or 3 days later, one scene or something.
Well, they time skip it, but John Pertwee, you're watching. Spearheads of Space, you're watching like, oh, this weird guy who's supposed to be Doctor Who is in the bed.
I will say that straight away, Tom Baker embodies the role of the Doctor.
Yeah.
Straight away.
Is it the more Tom Baker's playing the Doctor, or is Tom Baker playing Tom Baker?
Yes.
Yes.
I like how we all get yeses in order there.
now we're mirroring each other.
Fuck.
Fuck.
And I
We
bring
did it
the
again, God
tropes
damn it!
back. The tropes live on through me.
The tropes will never die thanks to you. Dear God,
How
what...
do I not have a sound clip of Kuchiri yelling, keeping the tropes alive?
You had years to steal one from any of the previous episodes I've been in. But
I
keeping the
know.
tropes alive!
There you go. Next time you've got one.
Maybe not that one because it cut out on me.
Yeah, I was going to
Depends on
say
how
that,
it sounds in the
that's
recording.
not a perfect one, but you can record another one another time.
Yeah.
You have
can
no
get
idea what
this going.
you've just agreed to, you fool.
I know. I've already agreed to give my voice to Kat more than once already in the last couple of weeks.
I mean,
Oh,
shit.
well, this is new.
You don't even have to agree. You can just stream a fucking weird visual novel, and Kat will apparently go through the entire thing and take like 20 out of context clips from it.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Give your cock a cock ring. And you see? You see what I gotta live with here? You see what you see
You've
what
missed
you
a lot
came
in the
back
past
to?
2 or 3 years you've been away.
I know this website that lets you hire clowns, firefighters, doctors, and tuxedo guys. It's called definitely not strippers.com, and it's 100% legit.
Oh,
have
great.
so
Now,
many.
we're going to get yet another copyright claim. Oh, no, we're not, because he's right here.
What? I'm just gonna sit here and say, yes, I'm going to claim all the ad revenue of this video that I'm in.
It honestly wouldn't surprise
Yes,
me if
all
somebody had
zero
done
of it.
that. It wouldn't surprise me if someone had tried to copyright their voice.
I mean, I would say all three of us have very unique voices. We could probably be copyrighted.
Yeah, true.
Again, thanks a lot. All 3 of us, meaning not me.
So,
Why did I agree to have you back again? So
You love me.
trying to get this car back on the highway here. The Brigadier also calls for a Lieutenant Sullivan, the medical officer, to take care of the doctor, who we've seen before. It's Harry Sullivan, the imbecile, you know.
yeah,
This is his introduction, but not the actor's introduction to Doctor Who, as we helpfully explained to Rainiac, who thought he was going fucking wild last time. Like, what the fuck? I swear to God, he debuted in a previous story.
yeah. The actor did, but the character didn't. I
But
understand that now.
forget all that. Hey, you want to look through some tinted glass?
That is some of the worst vision effects I think I've ever seen in any show.
I mean, it works, I guess.
I mean, it could be worse. It could just be they slightly painted some green around the edges.
Which they've done.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of robot visions in a lot of shows. This is not the worst ever.
Well, at least here's the thing though. We have that vision, but when you finally see the robot jumping ahead to a later part, how do you get that vision from that grate that's on its face?
You don't, and that's another common problem in shows. That the shape of the vision doesn't match the actual shape of the eyes of the robot.
And I thought I was the nitpicky one.
I mean, I literally have whenever I was making notes, I was like, that robot helmet doesn't match his vision in the POV. I don't know why that bugs me, but it bugs me.
Okay, so we've now got Mr. Pedantic back to do the podcast. But yeah, I can see where you're coming from, because it is a little hokey. In fact, a lot of the effects of particularly part 4. Part 4.
A little hokey.
Part 4 just makes me laugh out loud with the effects.
I mean, listen, it's classic Doctor Who. If you're not expecting it to be made on the budget that Brainiac spent for Takeaway last weekend, what are you expecting?
And I understand that. I understand that they wanted to do a lot of these big stories.
It's even funnier because I didn't have takeaway last week, so the budget was 0.
Yes, that's what Fresno's.
It works either way. It works either way.
But the thing is, around the same time, there was other small budget sci-fi shows that had decent effects. Not amazing name, but not insulting to the viewers.
I think the Avengers had better visual effects than this.
Kuchiri,
I mean, I wouldn't call the vision thing, like offensive to the viewers. I would just call it an oversight.
Well, it's more. I'm talking more about like later on when the robot's literally being green screened out because.
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Kuchiri, have you seen the story after this, the Ark in Space?
I may have. So, fun fact, a lot of people's first Doctors is either Eccleston or Tennant or Smith. I actually was a Doctor Who kid, like when it was on PBS here. So, I may have seen it, but whenever I saw it, I was either 5 or 6, and I don't remember it.
You'd remember
Right,
this
right,
because
right.
Green Bubble Wrap.
Well,
Yeah.
funnily enough, we happen to have a handy little podcast you can watch about that.
Yeah,
Which I may or may not be
that's the
going to
point I
include in
wanted
the
to
description.
make to remind you that, like a couple of weeks after they made this, they had the story where they had an actor sincerely turning into a monster, and the effect was, "Hey, let's wrap green bubble wrap around his hand and make him go, ah, oh my god!"
And it still looked better than this.
Yeah.
It did. So I mean, Doctor Who has had a history of looking like complete shit. But sometimes it can sell it, and other times, as is the case here, it cannot.
I think the bubble wrap helps that the actor was really doing a really good job with the acting.
Yes. But I mean, also, the bullshit effects gave us the giant rubber snake from Kinda, and I wouldn't trade that for anything.
Exactly. It also gave us the micro, but we won't talk about that.
Oh, well, the what?
The micro.
Micra.
The what?
Oh, come on. Warriors of the Deep.
I know what you're saying, but you're saying it wrong.
What is it then? Micra?
Merca.
Oh, Merca. Oh, yeah, Micra's a car. Never mind.
Oh no! Anyway.
So the robot goes and steals something from this high-tech facility very slowly.
I have to give Doc points to the episode because the robot hurts guard dogs, and that's bad. Bad.
They didn't kill the They didn't kill the dog though. Killed the person, but then you hear the dog go.
Yeah, we don't
as it
hear
runs
it on screen, but it's like fucking.
I just
Yeah,
love the fact.
at the very least, according to TARDIS Wiki, it scares the dog, but it is TARDIS Wiki, so humongous grain of salt.
Yeah.
Not entirely villainous, this robot, as it steals the top secret folder.
I laughed so hard when
Wait,
I
he's got
saw
top
that.
secret in the folder, yeah. Evidently, the people
Like-
that made this are a fan of Val Kilmer. It said that film didn't come out for another 7 years.
But like the thing is, like it's first off, it's a high security facility. You go through fence, you go through guards, you go through dogs, if I can speak, into this vault in the middle of it. It's like, are there folders in there that says "release to public"?
Oh god.
Top secret. Able to be leaked. Please
And
do
then
leak
that's
for the
when
love
the
of God. They
time
need to know
skip.
about this.
That's when the time skip happened, because right after that scene, we have Sarah Day. Oh, how's the doctor been? Oh, he's been in bed for a while.
Yeah.
I see.
And then, speaking of the Doctor, we have the great scene.
Oh boy.
Because how do we get the Doctor into his iconic outfit for his 4th tenure?
Well, first off, he's gonna sneak back into the lab to go into the TARDIS, but Harry's gonna catch him.
And start skipping with him.
Start skipping with him. And
Yeah,
then,
does anybody know why Harry is so insistent in calling the infirmary the sick bay?
Now, that was weird, that.
Was there like any kind of connotation, like we don't want to call it a sick bay because not everyone there's sick or something? Or...
I think that's it, yes.
I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know. All I know is that Sarah calls him old-fashioned, and then every single time he's talking to the doctor, he always corrects the infirmary to the sick bay. He always calls it a sick bay, and I don't know why.
I don't know. Oh yeah, and the doctor looks at himself in the mirror. Cat, hit the button, please.
Oh,
I need to figure out which one it is.
Good button pressure. Great button push.
Doctor Who Mirror Alert. Doctor Who Mirror Alert.
There you
It's
go.
the only one of those I got today, so it's like you can use the big one. Get it out of the way quick.
So yeah,
You know,
he,
he's
he
like,
deals he deals with Harry. He puts him in the cupboard.
He's all I can think of since before the show we were talking about the antagonist is like, hey, Carrie Sullivan, and put him in the cupboard over there.
And then Harry turns to his left and goes, "Hey, Hitler, what's up?"
Wasn't gonna bring that up, but yeah.
I will always bring up shoving Hitler into a
I
cupboard.
was
'cause
trying
that's
to sort of
exactly what he
skate around
deserves.
it. I was trying to skate around it, but no, you just went straight through the center of the ice.
Isn't this like a weekly thing? Rain tries to skate around stuff, and it's one of us that just slams us into
Yes,
his face first.
yes, that's easy to notice.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Keeping the tropes alive. Love it.
Keeping the trope alive.
I'm like
So,
that guy tugging at his collar,
yeah.
like constantly.
So,
Just,
So you want to? So the doctor's about to fuck off and leave, but Sarah's like, "Doctor, wait, you can't go, because unit needs you to check out this whole
Sure I can.
robbery thing."
I can leave.
And I think he's on like temporary amnesia because he didn't recognise the Brigadier at first, and they did.
Yeah. He's
But
like,
then
Alexander the
a
Great.
wonderful thing
No.
happens. He has a
Well-
few changes of wardrobe.
Oh, there was one more murder by the robot, and I just want to bring that up because it was like you could clearly tell the actor was moving his body just so the claw would go around his neck.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Wait, the call's not the right place. Grabs it. Ah!
That
love
that
that.
sort of thing happens a lot in classic Doctor Who. If you're looking out for it.
I mean, we covered an example of that 2 weeks ago, didn't we,
Paradise
on Time
Towers?
Lash?
Also, Paradise Towers.
Yeah, but with Perry having to reapply her own restraint that broke round her neck.
Oh, my
yeah,
gosh.
yeah, that's
I
it.
have to try to find, Brainiac, I'm going to try to find a GIF for you to put into the episode around the time that Kuchiri mentions the dude adjusting the claw around his neck, just because it is so perfect.
Is it another SpongeBob meme?
No.
Meme
Okay,
for everything. We're gonna get the SpongeBob meme before we're done.
but apparently not a meme for that. But anyway, the wardrobe changes.
Go ahead.
This is just great. So he can't stay as a patient, dressed as a patient of the hospital. That's going to attract too much attention. So what does he do? Well, he's going to change his outfit. His first outfit is a Viking warrior,
After the Meyer Doctor.
complete with longsword and shield and Viking horns. And the Brigadier's like, this is a top secret organisation. You're going to attract a bit of attention going around like that. Yeah, fair enough. Next outfit is like a sort of 15th century French prince, I think.
I think he looked like a king from a deck of cards.
Yeah, that's not a bad comparison.
Mm.
Then Tom
No.
Baker becomes an actual clown.
It looks like David Bowie in the video for Ashes to Ashes.
I made a joke in my notes that Colin Baker must have loved this episode and thought one of the fake out outfits was the best one. But I actually was corrected. I'm weird. I just listened to a bunch of Who Talk stuff or Who YouTuber stuff. Apparently, the director of Colin Baker wanted the crazy outfit, not Colin Baker himself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
100% the director, because
Yeah.
apparently that's just his style was crazy outfits.
Colin Baker wanted the blue suit. And he didn't get it.
Also, side note, I put the appropriate.
I've seen
GIF
it.
into the
I'm just
chat.
taking in that gif.
Is this a Bollywood thing?
Yeah.
I'm just-
It's an Indian soap opera.
Oh!
I love that the screen goes grey as well. Like,
Wasted.
yeah, that's exactly what we're thinking.
That's what's in the scene. It's just wasted.
All
You
that's
can have
missing
that
is
post.
all that's missing is the Dark Souls "You Died."
Add
Thanks,
in,
Obama.
add in post.
Thanks,
That's it.
Obama.
Just add in post.
Thanks, Obama.
I also, as an aside, this is not for you to put in the episode, but I also just want to submit this hilarious one as well, which is a real thing that actually happened in an episode.
Oh yeah, I've
Okay.
seen this one before.
Oh,
tell
no,
me,
she got
tell
sent to
me
the
you can add in.
she got
I
sent
would
to the
totally
Shadow
add in.
Realm. Oh no.
No, I will add in a battle from Final Fantasy X. Just after that, the screen breaks, because that's how you get into battles of Final Fantasy
Yeah.
X.
Dun, 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 dun. All right.
God, you
So,
really like to
I'll-
increase my editing workload, don't you? You three. Uh,
Don't look
Hey.
at me. Don't
but
look at
anyway,
me. I'm
the
just
clown
telling Cat
outfit
to
is
hit the
also
button.
rejected by the Brigadier with a sad shake of the head, and we finally
Someone
get.
said hit the button.
Doctor Who mirror alert. Whoop 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 whoop.
What?
What? I heard hit the button and I just did it.
Cat's working on reflex. So
Yeah,
we have the
finally we
Doctor.
get the iconic outfit, the scarf.
Okay, like out of this, how about a hat and a really long scarf and a red jacket? Perfect.
The scarf that you now own.
I do. Although it's not that long, but I mean, I wouldn't want it that long because I'd trip and break my own fucking
I
neck.
mean, yeah, I wasn't.
That's what she said.
Why did she say this?
What?
Doesn't make any fucking sense.
Why would she say she'd trip and break her own neck, Kuchiri? You're making no sense.
If it's too long,
Oh.
I have only one response to that.
Coochie makes you feel good.
Right, this was the secret thing you recorded. I like how he's laughing.
Let's go investigate the scene of the crime.
Can we talk about the scarf real fast? Because I actually found some trivia about the scarf.
Oh, what
Yeah, let's talk about the scarf.
Please do, because the wheels have come off this clown car and they're not
Oh, I
coming
think
back
I know
on.
this trivia, but go ahead.
Yeah, so apparently the person they commissioned to make the scarf, all they told her was it just needed to be abnormally long. So because they didn't give the person, like, the length, they just knitted until they ran out of yarn and just sent it.
Oh, how much yarn did you use? All of it? All of it?
So, I was gonna wait to talk about this until I had a little bit more, but I actually found a paper that the BBC put out where it was the tutorial on how to knit the Fourth Doctor's scarf.
Oh my.
Guess what I've been doing?
Oh my god. Now you will also own a Tom Baker scarf. How about that?
That I made. And let me tell you, that's a fuck ton of yarn.
God damn.
I can imagine, because it was the one I
you're
got
making
here
that
was like a
fucker full
6 foot,
length?
12 foot. So,
I'm making it full length, yeah.
yeah, I got
Holy
the 6 foot
fuck.
version. There was a 12 footer I could have bought him.
Oh my Jesus.
You would have broken your neck.
I would have broken my neck. So, at the scene of the crime, they're investigating, and there's a big electric fence that's been broken into and all this stuff, and the Doctor is just sort of looking at the ground while the Brigadier's monologuing, and the Brig is like, Doctor, can you pay attention? But I am, Brigadier. Check out this flower. Oh, come on, Doctor. Do you really have to be all ecologically preserving at this time? No. Look, see, the flower has been crushed by a massive weight. At least 1/4 of a ton. So, whatever is going on here. And also, the only thing that was stolen in this break-in was specifically the components for what the top secret blueprints were about. A disintegrator gun.
This is so 70s sci-fi, it hurts.
I know. So, first they steal the top secret plans, and then they steal specifically the components needed, part of the components needed to build the gun. So, that's interesting. So they're like, so they theorize, whatever is stealing this shit is obviously doing it intelligently, and they're trying to build the gun, so the Brigadier decides, okay, we're going to go on high alert and guard the ever-loving shit out of the factory where the final components are, so that whatever is stealing this shit can't get it.
It's a generator.
Meanwhile, we should talk about Sarah Jane's plot story.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, do you remember how Sarah Jane's a journalist? Because they finally did.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, they did when she was first introduced, but I mean, we
True.
haven't covered those yet. But,
Yeah.
like
So
a
she
year
goes
ago.
to
So
investigate
it's like,
think tank. This scientific organization.
And somehow she went there without knowing the name of the director, so she instantly goes to the first old white man she sees and thinks it's the director, just to be scolded by the. Oh, what's her name? I didn't write down
Miss
her name.
Winters.
Miss Winters.
Hilda Winters.
It's like
Winters and Jellicoe. Winters is the director. Jellicoe's her assistant.
You know,
But
like-
great
like-
reporting there. You went to the place to interview the director. You didn't bother to write down the director's name.
They only do this
it's-
to have the misogyny joke.
I need to do something real fast, and I immediately apologize. Some of you may not get it, but man, that Jellicoe, he's a real cool cat.
Oh my!
What?
Out.
We do not reference cats in this podcast.
I
I
don't
have the
know.
ability to mute in this channel. I will. No, I won't use it.
Well, if you
No,
no, I
Secret
can't.
Brainiac absolutely would.
You haven't given me the power to do that, so
Oh wait, you're admin. You might be able to. Use
Don't tell me that.
I'm going to pretend that was a terrible reference, and we will say also that this entire scene is basically set up just to be like, I don't know, fucking like subversion. Like Miss Winter's like, oh, Miss Smith, I thought you were a feminist. You're assuming the director of Think Tank is a man.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mrs. Peacock was
I
a man.
thought you were better than this. Blah 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 blah.
I can't believe Mrs. Peacock was a
By
man.
the way, story written by Terrence Dix.
Who?
What a dick. Wait,
I mean,
That's low
So
hanging
I
fruit.
may have muted Rain for the past minute or so.
God damn it!
oh God Almighty.
All right, I'll unmute you, but you have to behave.
Anyway, so Sarah's talking with the think tank people, and she mentions, "Hey, didn't you guys pioneer research on that disintegrator gun? Hey, you're not supposed to know about that. Oh, sorry. Pretend I never said anything." And then she sees a door that's marked like something like "No entry," and she's like, "Ooh, what's behind this door?" and she finds a robot. If she finds a door labeled J.P. Kettlewell Robotics Section, but there's nothing in there, even though she slips on something or other in the middle of the room. And she's like, "Woo, I almost lost my balance there." As Winters explains, Kettlewell left the scientific community altogether a while ago, though this is just the leftovers of his lab. So,
Well, he didn't
That's
leave
it.
the scientific community. He just left the think tank because he didn't agree with their politics or something like that.
What was it?
Interesting,
He left it for alternative methods of energy production or something.
Yes.
interesting. We're getting all ecological and safe.
I mean, you say
So,
that, but it's not
it's
expanded upon.
almost like this. It's almost like this kind of mirrors the Doctor's take on being all ecological with the dandelion.
Yeah.
Interesting. Hey. So, the unit has this electronics factory guarded in all directions, They've got soldiers everywhere, they've got this, they've got that, the place is impregnable, and the Brigadier is like, okay, yeah, we've got it protected in every direction, up, down, left, right, every direction. Oh, well, what
And
about
the
down?
Doctor just says, "You missed one," and he just points down.
Which is timely because whatever the fuck this thing is starts drilling through the floor.
It's clearly
Yep.
the shredder.
Oh no, look out. No, it's Uncle Phil.
I had
Okay,
that toy.
Real talk. Now that we see the robot, how did the robot do all of that? It had no tools.
Yeah, you're right. Because it was the tool, I guess.
I guess.
You're a tool.
yeah.
I want you guys to know I bit my tongue. I was about ready to say what Kat said.
So, yeah, this thing burrows up from underground into the building and to grab the safe where they have the electronic components or whatever. And it takes them. So, bad. So, Sarah finds Professor Kettlewell at his place and is talking to him for a bit. Just some little scene where he's like, "Oh yeah, I don't have anything to do with robotics. I'm all about alternative energy, solar power, that sort of thing."
Can we make jokes about his hair?
What? He's Dr. Wiley.
Dr. Huawei.
I mean, that's every mad scientist in anything. has that hair.
I like the second they zoomed in on the hair, I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
This guy is like the mad scientist trope buffet because you've got the wild hair, the glasses that barely are in focus for him,
Yeah.
rejecting the world. Yeah, it's all there.
Creates giant robot.
Creates giant robot.
I kind of have to wonder now. Did they hire him because he's a good actor, or did they hire him because he had the hair?
I was about to say yes again, but I don't know. It's the honest answer.
So they find the other end of the tunnel. The whatever it's a robot. I mean, it's a robot. I mean, it's in the title of the show, so we're just gonna call it a robot. But they go through, and Sergeant Benton points out whatever went through that tunnel wouldn't be able to breathe. And the doctor's like, well, it doesn't need to breathe, clearly.
I
Yeah,
do love one nice little touch Tom Baker does in the scene, and it shows how good of an actor he is. He's using the scarf to measure the hole.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really good touch. I forgot that. That's great.
Oh, I don't know if we mentioned it as well, but there was a guard inside the factory who got murdered by the robot.
Rip in peace.
But
That's
you
kind of important
add the
for
gif
plot.
of the Indian woman wrapping the thing around. Oh wait, can you add the robot vision to that?
I don't know if Radiac can do. I don't know if Radiac has that kind of Photoshop power.
I
might be able to do that if I don't know.
I mean, we photoshopped something
all
else.
you need to do is just put in the thing and then put an overlay over
We
it,
had
right?
something else last week that somebody wasn't aware because they didn't watch the show, but
Yeah, what kind of crazy idiot would do that? Jesus. So Sarah, she decides, oh, I want to check this shit out. So she makes up a story to the guard at think tank. Oh, I forgot my notebook, and my pass is good for 10 minutes. Can you look for my notebook? And when the guard goes to call in about it, she sneaks in, and she heads back into the robotics section. She checks the middle of the floor. Ah, it was oil that I slipped on. I knew it! And then the door opens, and holy shit, a giant robot! What a surprise.
I've mocked the effects for this story, or we've mocked the effects for this story, but the actual robot costume looks really good.
Well, you say really good. Have you seen its hands?
All right,
Hands are bad.
the majority of the costume, not including the hands.
But I did some research on this. I'm a big Tokusatsu fan, Japanese Kamen Rider, Godzilla
Rubber
stuff.
suit monsters!
This is honestly predates almost every single giant robot that's in Japan.
Yeah.
Off
This
the
is-
top of my head, is Ultraman before?
No, Ultraman's technically an alien. He's not a robot.
Oh,
They did have giant robots though in Ultraman eventually, but for the most part, Ultraman's an alien.
Okay. That's a distinction.
But yeah, there was one show. I posted it whenever I was watching these last week. 1 second, let me.
Off the top of my head, also, isn't Mechagodzilla like around?
Around the sun, yeah.
So it's like a year or so off. Off the top of my head.
Yeah, I just posted. I need to re-look up the name
Whoa,
of the show.
what the hell is
but
that thing?
That's from a '60s Japanese show.
Okay.
So that was their giant robot suit in the '60s show. Let me look at. It's like.
See, the only one that I could think of that starts with a V is Voltron, but I'm pretty sure that's not Voltron.
Voltron's
80s.
Voltron's from the 80s.
That's not Voltron, no.
Like, all I can think of from that time is Mazinger Z, which is an animated
Oh,
giant
wow.
robot.
This is the flying robot or giant robo from Johnny Sacco and his flying robot from 1967.
Wait, Godzilla also had Jet Jaguar. That predates robot.
So don't
Again,
worry,
it's
folks,
like,
at some
we're
point this will
still-
become a Doctor Who podcast again.
What was that about ducks?
But the thing is, we're still like, this is just the history of like giant robots in live action media. We're still on one hand if we're counting all of them.
Yeah.
Because like this predates also the Japanese Spider-Man giant robot too. That is
The Emissary of Hell. Spider-Man.
No, but it's just I don't know. It's just kind of cool that this predates all that. I just thought it was cool trivia.
There you go. Thanks, England. You beat Japan to the punch.
Is that an actual thanks or a sarcastic thanks?
Yes.
Fair enough. And our cliffhanger is just that the robot is
It's
advancing on Sarah
approaching
Jane.
menacingly.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Who are you and what are you doing here?
And our cliffhanger resolution is it was just a prank. It was
Oh,
just
this
a prank, girl.
this
It was just a prank,
Just
girl.
prank, Rob. Just
this
prank.
resolution it
It's
sucks.
prank.
Yeah,
Oh,
there it is.
you want- I mean, for everything.
No, not only is it just a prank, like they kept on twisting it like 3 times in the scene in the resolution.
Oh
But
God.
Can it hurt someone? Robot. This woman's an enemy of humanity. Kill her.
And the robot
And then
surprisingly speaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it identifies itself as K1, experimental prototype K1, and that's quite a clever naming convention because K1.
All we need to do are to get 7 more robots between now and the debut of K9.
It's nothing to do with
I would
K9. It's a phonetic thing. So
It'd be like the world's weirdest animorphs.
if you spell out K1,
say. Mhm.
it becomes like the Finnish word cone, and cone is robot in Finnish.
Wow. That was a
Cool.
deep cut.
I mean, that's a neat little touch with naming it K1.
So yeah, Sarah's asking about the robot, and she's like, gee, could this robot be misused if it got in the wrong hands? What? And Kuchiri said, what, like this? Robot, killer!
But it can't go against its prime directive. Hi, Robocop, how you doing?
Yeah.
Was the 3 laws of robotics a thing around this time?
Yeah,
or
as a
does
model-
it-
Laws of
I'm
robotics.
pretty sure they were a thing by now.
Yeah, they definitely
So
were.
that's obviously what they're riffing on here.
Well, it can't be Robocop because we're about 11 years before that came out.
So
all over the
Robocop
timeline,
ripped
yeah.
this off. How dare you?
When did Robocop come out? 87?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this will be 76, 75.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Either way, the robot can't hurt Sarah Jane, and Sarah even says that was honestly a very cruel thing to do because it looks like it hurt the robot. And she even goes to the point of apologizing to the poor thing because it got hurt.
Are you sure that this robot doesn't have feelings?
It got hurt, but it also started flaying about because it was contradicting itself.
It was having a panic attack.
So, Miss Winters is like, okay, Sarah, okay, Miss Smith, I'll tell you what. You keep quiet about our giant robot, and we'll keep quiet about the fact that you broke in here to get a peek at the giant robot. Deal? Deal. And so Sarah Jane leaves, and then Jellicoe's like, what the hell are you doing? You'll ruin our evil, evil scheme!
They do not hide who the villains are of this at all.
As soon as Sarah Jane shuts the door, he's like, we're evil! We're evil! So, apparently the way they get around the Prime Directive is they just, rework the robot. They just literally, take it apart, put a screwdriver to it, add an inhibitor or some shit to it, I don't know.
It's weird because it sounds like there's a little bit of a plot hole there because they say later on that Kenning Bell is the only one that can do that, and it's like here's another person doing it aside from
I think the
scientist.
point. I think the point of that is that he's the only one who could do it safely, because he's the one who built the robot, and he's the only one, quote unquote, smart enough to be able to adjust the robot.
Yeah.
So as these two are doing it, they're doing it wrong, and that's why the robot still has the Prime Directive, and eventually will go insane.
Then they order him to kill some guy and say, he's an enemy of humanity, he has to be destroyed. Oh,
He's a
no.
cabinet minister.
Yeah.
K1, we have this guy. His name is Chris Chibnall.
I mean, that's
That
better
might
than
be
what I was
a
going to go
little
with, so let's run with that.
It's also, as we record this, his birthday, so we're gonna give him a free day.
What, Chris
The
Chibnall?
true enemy of humanity.
It's Chibnall's birthday, is it?
Yeah,
Oh.
as we record.
Let's all wish Chris Chibnall a fuck you.
Wow!
Here I am trying to be nice.
Wow!
Kuchiri just sort of
Well, I
belted
mean,
through
come
Hey,
on.
it.
let's be
do
honest.
this right.
Let's be
Let's do this right.
let's be honest. I literally watched Flux last week, and I'm still upset about that ending. So
Yes, but
Let's do this right. It is his birthday, so happy fuck you to you.
I feel like I'm justified with that because I literally just watched all 29 of his episodes in 10
Yeah.
days last week.
you're only
so-
singing that to him now
No
because
lie, this man went and watched the entire season of Chibnall up to now.
you're only singing that to him now because I wasn't around for you to sing it to me in person on Friday.
I mean, I wasn't going to sing it to you on Friday because I actually like you.
Aww.
Aww.
Sort of.
I'll take it.
She likes you. Anyway.
When's the wedding taking place, honey?
Anyway.
Happy birthday, Chris Chibnall. I do not approve of your writing, but happy birthday to you.
I like how you just linked the AVGN.
That's basically what Kuchiri did.
Fresno is saying one thing out loud, but posting something else.
I was just that was just because of what you said.
He said the quiet part out loud.
The duality of man.
Fresno
I'm never
mirrors.
marrying myself.
That honestly wasn't needed. Anyway.
See, I'm terrified now. Whenever someone says HIT, the button, it's gonna. I don't know what I'm gonna get. It's like Russian roulette now. I realised I nearly said it, and I stopped myself in the nick of time.
Don't worry.
Russian roulette?
There's only one person who's the shame bringer. You can't hide from my shame bringing.
Why have you coordinated this? Why? What?
So we have another little plan for a unit, which doesn't really come to much in the episode, if we're being honest.
Is this
Let's
when
be
they go
fair,
and see
Unit doesn't do a
Kettlewell?
whole lot this episode.
No, but I'm talking about the Harry Sullivan plot,
Oh yeah.
where they decide we need somebody on the inside at think tanks that can feed us back info.
He gets
Hey,
two
how
scenes
about-
before he's discovered.
Yeah,
I totally forgot they sent him there until like the end of the episode where he's just at that phone that's in
Yeah,
the
part
hallway.
2, they're told, think tanks are told, we suddenly have to have like a medical inspection, and here's someone to carry it out, and there's Harry in like a hat, just
he's looking like a what's his name from
guy
the
incognito.
Avengers? No, what's his name from the Avengers?
Oh, John Steed.
Yeah, that guy.
That fits because what I'm going to tell you in the wrap up, but
All right.
yeah, he looks a bit like John Steed.
Yeah. So,
Well,
meanwhile-
honestly, it's supposed to be more like James Bond because that's what Sarah alludes to when she's suggesting this.
Yeah, that's
Which is
hilarious.
funny
He's nothing
because-
like James Bond.
which is funny because James Bond and John Steed were in the same movie
They were after this, but they were.
after this. Yeah. So the Doctor and Unit are going to talk to Professor Kettlewell, and there's this great scene with Tom Baker where Little Brigger just like, Professor Kettlewell, tell us about the robot this instant. And he's not responding. The Doctor's like, oh, solar power. Oh, neat. Oh, well, I mean, your calculations won't work, but I mean, if you did this and then did that, oh, I know what I'm talking about. And he's just sort of like buttering up Kettlewell, like praising him, building him up. And then he's just like, Professor Kettlewell, why don't you tell us about the robot?
Yeah, but this is the right way to handle him.
Man.
It's a really good scene, and he does, give them information because of it.
Yep.
It's all about handling people the right way.
Yep.
Apparently, the robot's power and capacity to learn's frightened Professor Kettlewell. But there's no way that the robot could kill, though. Right? Right? Anyway, here's the robot blasting a hole through the wall and killing a man.
Yeah.
And stealing some documents from a safe. That's very important.
The cabinet minister gets killed. The safe door gets disintegrated. And the robot just takes the documents out. Then we get the bit with Harry, going undercover that we've already talked about. And then we get a real collar-tugging bit.
Hey kids, we've done it again. It's time to talk about fucking fascists.
Yeah, the Scientific Reform Society.
A bunch of the think tank folks were once part, or are part, of the Scientific Reform Society who want to reform the world on rational and scientific lines. They're fascists. They're fascists
and
who are
it
like,
gets worse.
hey,
Everybody says they're like a harmless bunch of cranks. No, they're not.
They're fascists.
No.
They're literally like, we're smart, so all you dumb people should bow down to us and let us rule you kings.
And
like, there's this whole thing where like Sarah Jane's just getting insulted, like, yeah, you'd be lucky if you were just a low tier pawn, or something like that.
Yeah, she actually goes to the meet.
Look at the way you dress. If we were in charge, then obviously we would tell you how to do that.
yeah, and Sarah
How to
throws it right
act.
back in his face. So
So
go,
forth.
girl.
Oh, I know the theory of relativity, so you shouldn't wear pants. That's basically them.
Yeah.
E equals MC. Fuck you.
Exactly. I mean, they're fuck. And this guy, because Sarah's gone to an SRS meeting to fake interview them to also gather intel, and he's like, "Oh, us superior types should rule, and the inferior people will be guided and helped and kept away from harmful ideas and influences in a rational and ordered society with us at top naturally because we."
Yeah, they're fascists.
They're fascists. And as Sarah leaves, she gets a great burn. And he's like, I hope you'll cover us well in your column. And she's like, oh yeah, I'll put you right alongside the flying saucer nuts and the flat earthers.
Yeah,
God
that's a nice
damn.
diss. That is a nice
You
diss.
tell him.
You gotta be
You
careful
tell
about
them.
those flat earthers, though. They're all around the globe.
You know what
Yeah,
to do.
that is one of the greatest. No. First hit. Yeah, but also that's one of the greatest tweets ever written. That's a genuine tweet or Facebook post by the Flat Earth Society.
One of my favorite posts by the Flat Earth Society is there was this guy who built a rocket so that he could prove the Earth was flat, and he accidentally proved that the Earth was curved.
As you do.
So, meanwhile, Kenwell gets a visit from the robot, and the robot's all conflicted and is like, I don't understand my prime directive. I am confused.
I'm overacting.
I'm acting.
I think the guy that voiced the robot went to overact as anonymous.
Maybe. I mean, fucking, he's no Paul Darrow.
Oh God.
Save your breath for the time lash, Doctor.
I think he found it overact as anonymous.
The screen.
Wait, this is my one chance to have my show on Doctor Who, and I can put this in my audition reel. Let's go for it.
You mean I can go on the show with the guy that upstaged me on Plate 7? Let's do this.
So the Doctor heads back to the think tank, but there's no robot there. Apparently, Miss Winters is like, "Oh, well, we dismantled the robot. You know, we did what Miss Smith suggested because the robot was dangerous. So we dismantled it and we incinerated it." And the Doctor is like, "Well," and he heads off. And then we see, like we said, we've got Harry Sullivan undercover. But then, as the Doctor gets back while everyone's gone, he gets a phone call from Professor Kettlewell asking for help.
Before we go on for that, this is one of those scenes that I really love with the Fourth Doctor that happens here, where Winters is like talking to the Jellicle cat, and she's like,
Jellicle cat.
Did you not
I
get the
thought
reference
you
earlier?
realized it. But she's like, I'm aware that that the Doctor knows that I'm lying, and then later it cuts to the Doctor, and he's like, "Oh, I know that she was lying, but she knows that I know she was lying, and then I know that she knows that I know that she's lying, and so forth." I just really love that joke.
That's good.
Yeah. God damn. So, yeah, as I was
Damn
saying,
it, Kuchiri, that gif.
Yeah. See, now that you've reacted, you have to put it in, Rainiac. If you stonewall the reaction, you have less editing to do.
Oh yeah.
Hey, but now that you've reacted, you got to put that sloth gif in the episode. See?
I mean, I don't have to do anything, but I will. No, come on! Come on! That was not even related to it!
Like, put this gif in the episode.
Oh god, that does fit!
Hang on, this needs some music to it.
Oh no, it fits the damn gift! It fits the part of the gift!
I haven't been around for like 4 years, but I miss and love you guys. I'm glad you're
Mariah Carey is inevitable.
Mexican Fados.
But, yeah. Kettlewell calls the doctor for help. Oh no, you have to be the cave. Your help. But, oh no. As he hangs up the phone and opens the door, there's Jellicoe and Winters at his place. Oh no. And so the doctor then displays a skill that he has, which is rapid typing.
He does the typewriter. He literally does the typewriter.
This will be plot relevant to the climax. He rapid types a note and heads out. And then as Sarah Jane gets back and reads the note, it's basically like, Dear Sarah and Brigadier, I've gone. Professor Kettlewell has called me to check out the robot. P.S. It's probably a trap, but I can handle myself. P.P.S. If I let this note, I can't handle myself. Help.
Anyway, so the doctor goes to visit Kettlewell.
Yeah, this is our cliffhanger. It's quite a long cliffhanger.
The giant robot is trying to kill the doctor. Oh no.
Can I also point out that there's another clever use of the scarf in the scene? He tries to set up a tripwire with it to try and trip them.
Good. And then there's a bit where he thinks that putting his hat over the robot's face disabled him, and he's like, oh, okay, that's great. And then the hat falls off and the robot knocks him down. It's like, oh no, this giant robot is going to kill me! Oh no!
Yeah, end of part 2. And
I mean, to be fair, the doctor's not actually human, so therefore it's perfectly fine for the robot to kill him.
And the robot tells him this, I think.
Well, no, he says the doctor is a enemy of humanity. He doesn't realize that the doctor's not human.
It's because Think Tank saw him and they thought he got too close, and the whole do you think we fooled him? No, and then they're like, well, let's find the robot. Show him 4 faces. This is the enemy of humanity. Done.
I mean, they don't know that he's like a Time Lord. They just think he's like.
I was making a joke, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So part 3, our cliffhanger resolution is Sarah comes in and is like, "No, don't kill the doctor. He's good. He's not the enemy of humanity." And the robot basically fucking blue screens at this. Error.
Yeah, and it escapes from unit. I think they start fire on it, don't they?
Wow.
I just love the look on their faces when they're firing. It's like, no, please add no emotion while you're firing at this robot. Be like, have the robot have more emotion than you guys do.
Wow. Random unit troops firing at a menace in a Doctor Who story. I am sure they are going to stop it with their fire.
And they don't. It just walks away.
It's really funny, too, because at one point, I forget exactly when it is, but even the Brigadier's like, for once, I wish we could just shoot them.
Yeah,
that's a great line.
For once, I wish we were fighting a menace that wasn't impervious to bullets.
Yeah.
So, the Doctor and Sarah in Kettlewell's place hear a noise, and it turns out Kettlewell was also tied up and locked up in a cupboard, along with Harry Sullivan and other people.
See, now he's skating around it. Who will be the wrecking ball? Who will be the wrecking ball? Come on.
Wait. I just now realized where Kettlewell gets his heel turn. He just listened to the other guy that's in the cupboard, and that's why.
Oh my god. Fuck.
Heel turn is right.
Heel turn. A heel turn is when Triple H chokeslams a guy. This is fucking fascism.
Well, as much as I'm sure Kettlewell and R. Kelly had a lot to talk about. We should move on.
Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
you bring up heel turns. I will say that, to his credit, the one thing that Vince McMahon was not okay with was when there was a pitch by one of his writers to turn one of his wrestlers into a Nazi, complete with goose step, and he just
Ew.
walked out of the meeting and the guy was fired.
For that. Thank God for that.
At least
So-
he has sub standards.
Back at
Some.
Unit, Kettlewell grabs some of Mr. Chekhov's things and places them on the mantle for later. He
Yeah,
mentions that the robot is made of a living metal. that
We've
has
done it
capacity to
again!
grow, which living metal.
Fuck.
Look at that. Living metal and robots and Nazis. Holy shit.
I swear I did not do this on purpose. I had no idea. I've never seen this episode before.
No, this is what you call serendipity.
This is what you call a Doctor Who mirror alert.
No, it isn't.
Doctor Who mirror alert.
Yes, it is.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
I mean,
I already pushed the button.
could this just be the thing where the Sixth Doctor writers just wanted to try to reuse stuff, try to save the show?
Seventh.
Seventh.
I don't know.
I
if
think there's
the-
enough.
the
There's
writer
enough.
behind
There's
Silver
enough
Nemesis.
differences for it to not be the same thing.
But anyway, so robot is made of a living metal that Kettlewell invented that has the capacity to grow, and he also discovered a metallic virus that breaks down metal, which he was hoping to use for ecological purposes. You know, dealing with scrap metal pollution and all that, and just like what's making it biodegradable.
Yeah. What would the world be like if we could clear up all the metallic waste of the world?
Which is actually a really good idea. That never gets fucking explored in this story.
No, because it
Yeah.
needs to do something else.
And you know what the weirdest part is? There's actually like a group of kids who made a virus that eats plastic. Haven't heard anything about that in a while.
No.
If we had a metal-eating virus, would that have saved us from Praxis?
Praxis was plastic.
No, I
Yeah,
thought it was.
Praxis was plastic in a virus.
No, I thought.
You've consumed so much of this shit in so little of time. It's all like a blur of mediocrity.
There was a lot of metal and stuff in that trash heap that was at the bottom of the ocean. I'm just saying. There was a whole ship down there.
I mean, look, I haven't watched those episodes since they aired, and we did them for the podcast because why would I revisit this era?
It definitely would have saved us from having to deal with even more fucking Cybermen.
Yeah. So the professor notices the SRS pamphlet that Sarah brought back with her, and he's like, "Oh, those guys! I went to a meeting for them one time." And Sarah's like, "Would they let you in if you came again?" "Yeah, probably. Why?" "Well, I could sneak in with your help and gather evidence against them." And by the way, if you haven't noticed that these people are totally dressed like fascists, well, they're totally dressed like fascists.
Yeah, they have
Yeah,
the armbands and everything.
This is
the armband,
where
they got
this
the
is where they
leather
just drop
boots.
any pretense that these are fascists.
Leather gloves. They're just science fascists, you know.
Green military uniforms, armbands, gloves.
They're superior because they know how to do physics. All you people who shoved us in the lockers, well, now we're gonna fucking rule over you.
Sometimes, I mean, I don't advocate bullying most times, but there are some people that should be shoved into a locker,
And fascists are one.
and these are some of them.
Yeah.
And so we get some more exposition as the Doctor realizes, because we talked about the robot broke through a wall and killed a civil servant and took a thing from the safe.
Yeah,
Well,
there
now
had to be a reason for that. There couldn't just be, like, random person.
Yeah. And so the Brigadier lets slip what it is as the Doctor's basically figured it out. So a few months ago, Russia, China, and the United States all decided on this plan to ensure peace and, keep the whole Cold War stable.
Sorry, I
Oh,
just couldn't hold that
this
in.
is too
would
close
never
to
happen.
comfort for recent events.
I mean, I'm just saying what the episode says here.
Yep,
So
and they
the-
decided that the best person to hold all this information, which would be their nuclear launch codes, would be the most neutral country in the entire fucking world.
Switzerland.
England, which Tom Baker gets this line where he's like, where the brig is like, naturally, the only country that could be trusted with this power was Great Britain, and Tom Baker's like, well, naturally, the rest were all foreigners.
It's even stupider than that because they thought the best way to keep the codes, these very destructive, very dangerous nuclear codes, safe, was to put them all in one place.
One safe behind a painting in a random civil servant.
Yeah,
That's the part you object to. You know the part I object to? The part where they said that the intention of this whole plan was that should anybody start getting uppity, Britain was just going to be like, here are all the codes. What?
I think it's the opposite. I think it's that you can't have the codes.
No, they were going to make the codes public if war was imminent.
Yep.
Okay.
Basically, mutually assured destruction.
What the fuck?
No, I know what it is. They were going to publish the codes for the other people. Yeah, you're right.
Basically, just all the nukes. Every nuke. It's the end of the world.
We'll meet
makes
again.
no sense.
Don't know where, don't know when.
I was more trying to go for the Flash cartoon from, 16 years ago.
Wow.
Deep cut.
A good deep cut, though.
Well, anyway, now the robot has the structure code, so whoever's controlling this robot, in this case, a bunch of science fascists, can start all-out thermonuclear war.
Oh,
great.
God. This meeting is quite the thing.
Yeah, so Kettlewell lets Sarah in, and she sneaks behind a table and all this shit, and just is recording. And, Winters is on the podium doing her speech. We are all laughed at, and now we're going to rule, as is our right! And it's like, holy fuck. Shove
Man,
these
this
people in the more
parents'
lockers.
meeting has gone real extreme, hasn't it?
Shove these people in the more lockers. Holy shit.
Yeah, and then I think she reveals the K1.
And for that, we have to thank Professor Kettlewell and his giant robot. That's right. He was on our side the entire time.
I do love the random the doctor is like, no, we can't. She couldn't have gone with him. He's the bad guy.
He doesn't say he's the bad guy. He says you let her go alone with Kettlewell. Oh my God, we got to find her.
Yeah.
So he implies
Honestly,
it.
can I just say, I don't think he was the bad guy the entire time. I think he legitimately left the think tank, and he legitimately wanted to be away from that, and thought that the robot would be destroyed. And then when Winters and the Jellicle Cat came over to quote-unquote talk to him, they actually did talk to him and converted him to their side.
Yeah.
Are you sure it wasn't the other person in the cupboard?
It could have been.
I'm very sure it wasn't the other person in the cupboard.
Harry Sullivan did nothing wrong.
Except invent Zygon gas to genocide.
Except invent that,
population.
yes. Except he didn't, did he? Because it was empty.
Well,
it was all a bluff.
Anyway.
It was all an excuse to deliver a speech that everyone will call one of the best Peter Capaldi speeches of the era.
And rightly so.
Too bad be back in the show. I love how Sarah Jane, even though she was kind of invited in, is hiding in a random corner where everyone can see her.
Yeah.
Well, and then the robot exposes her, and they're like, ah! Oh no!
It's an intruder!
We're gonna have to kill them. But
Kettlewell's like, oh, yeah. And then the doctor takes the stage.
Yeah, there's a great scene before this where the doctor's trying to get into think tank, into the SRS meeting, and there's a sentry set at the table. He's not having it, and we get the whole genesis of that recurring bit where he's got too many things in his pockets.
I'm shit in his pockets.
He's just taking all these things that's from the city of Skyro. No, that's a yo-yo. No. Just this mad stuff on the table.
And then when the gunner
it's really Tom Baker seeing what outfit they picked for him, just going, okay, I could work a lot with this.
And then when the guy gets up, he trips him with the scarf and knocks him out.
And this is why you shouldn't wear the fucking 12-foot scarf, because you'll trip and break your neck.
This is why I shouldn't have bought it for you, and I didn't.
Exactly.
Why the hell am I making this thing?
So then, having got past
the hazard, cat,
having
a
got
very
past
fashionable safety hazard, but a safety hazard nonetheless.
And then, having got past the lone guard here, as Jerry says, he takes the stage, and this is also great.
All these people are just laughing. Oh, we're gonna totally kill this guy
Yeah,
and
why
take over.
why are the fascists laughing and not trying to grab him?
You know, sometimes when you're a fascist, you just want to laugh.
I wouldn't know.
We're going to kill that guy because he doesn't know the Pythagorean theorem.
I think it's more of a haha. Look at the funny monkey. He's trying so hard to not die.
Yeah.
He does like a card trick, and general clownery happens. Then he is grabbed from behind by two guys. And Winter's like, well, we can't risk tying them up. We're going to have them killed. And Catherine was like, wait a minute. You said no one was going to get hurt. Good, Professor. They're holding the world to nuclear ransom.
I mean, well, the way he thinks of it is that they're just bluffing to get what they want. But as we soon find out, no.
They did tell him that his robot was killing people, and his robot told him that the robot was killing people.
Yeah.
It's also, I mean, I guess he's just trying to turn a blind eye, you know. I'm not the problem if I'm truthful.
And what's the line he gets on Kettlewells? He's being led away to be killed. Oh yeah, in science, Professor, the ends never justify the means, just as immorality.
Dun dun dun.
Thankfully, UNIT actually isn't useless here because they actually saved the day, kind of.
Kinda, but they still all the fascists, they get away with Sarah as a hostage now, so that's bad.
But it's just it's just Winters and Jellicle Cat.
So, I have a question because I don't quite understand what was going on. Did the doctor just pretend to be shot by one of the unit bullets so they didn't drag him out, or?
No,
Yeah,
he was just goofing around on the table.
Yeah, it was just a weird scene where they busted and the doctor's like, okay, I'm just going to take a nap now.
So,
To be fair, half the episode, like in all of the episodes, he was just, I'm going to take a nap now.
basically, yeah.
He's still recovering from regeneration, etc., etc.
Yeah,
but yeah.
they've got Sarah as a hostage now. And Harry Sullivan calls from the think tank and says, oh, everyone's leaving here. They're going to a bunker. Well, I should check out where they're going before I click. And oh no, now he is also being caught. Great work! Your infiltration plan got you one bit of exposition to get the plot going, and then you got captured.
Yeah, and
Great job!
Fitting. Yeah.
Mood!
That kind of sums up Harry Sullivan in this.
And then we get the scene of the bad guy giving out the demands inside the bunker.
Well, yeah, they find this bunker, which is a think tank bunker from... the Brigadier says, back in the Cold War days, which strikes me as odd, because this is 1975. I don't know how cold or hot the Cold War was. It certainly ramped up there in the 80s again, but I don't know where we were.
I think when they said Cold War, they're referring to like Cuban Missile Crisis times.
Oh yeah, Cuban Missile Crisis.
I mean, at the same time, it was also mostly just U.S. and Russia. Maybe the UK was part of it, but then when they realized it was just U.S. and Russia, maybe they just, let's just let those two have their pissing contest.
It also could be sort of one of a unit dating thing where this is supposed to be like 1980, 1979, and they're saying, oh, that Cold War sure was bad, but good thing it calmed down, or at least it did until a bunch of science fascists tried to nuke the world.
Again,
let's see. The beginning of the Soviet-Afghan War was in 1979. Early 1980s was another period of elevated tension.
Yeah, the 80s were pretty much like, the high alert for
2022, tensions elevate again.
I don't know how many times I have to say this, but the only unit dating I'm interested in is Kate going out of Osgood.
Mood.
Okay, by the 1970s, both sides had started making allowances for peace and security, ushering in a period of, I can't even pronounce that word.
Détente?
Relaxation of strained relations, so yes.
Okay, so the Cold War was a little calmed down around the mid-70s.
It had started to calm down, and then by 1979, it started to ramp back up again.
Right. The 80s. I know all that. So, anyway, the place has an automatic turret, so, they can't exactly just walk in without disabling those. And then Miss Winters gives her demands. Surrender to us, the world governments, or we'll blow all of you up! We could do so we get to tell you what to do now!
And the Doctor says in response, no, he just blows up the machine gun turrets.
Well, grenades blow up
I
the
also love
turrets.
how the villain was like, you have 30 minutes, exactly one episode length, aka part 4, to stop our evil plan.
Yeah. You're right, aren't you? Because it's Benson uses a grenade to blow up the machine gun
Yeah.
nest, and then
But
the
then,
doctor goes,
but,
hang on one
but
second,
then,
clicks the Sonic, and then the mines go off.
which is kind of like what John Pertwee did in the Sea Boys story, huh? Setting off landmines with the Sonic. And then they get to the door, and it's like, oh, the door's locked. Well, hang on, I got a thing for that. Let me just
I
stop,
could
cut
turn
out
my
the lock
sonic
while you're at it.
screwdriver into a sonic lance.
There's an app
But
for
then we
that.
get the end of part 3, which you want to
Release
talk
the
about.
killer robot.
You want to talk about visual effects in Doctor Who? Take the fucking floor.
Release the
We'll
killer
destroy
robot.
your toy tank.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
fuck
out
that
comes
tank.
K1, it lumbers out, and everyone's like, get back, fall back. One guy doesn't fall back. K1's got the disintegrator gun because the Jellicle Cat's given it to him in the bunker.
You're going on this shit too.
I've said it 3 times now, you only just noticed?
Kuchiri post the sloth get the game.
Was I muted again? Was I
I've just
muted
been
again?
ignoring it.
Anyway, it comes out with a gun.
Memories.
One soldier gets a bit too close and gets disintegrated, and it's just an orange cover effect.
Yay!
The jump cuts-
Wow! Look at that.
That jump cuts the guy out of
magic
existence.
of TV. But the Brigadier's like, don't worry, I've got something that'll fix that robot.
It's a tank.
My son's toy tank.
It's literally a G.I. Joe tank.
It is just a model tank.
It's like you can tell that they tried to do like a perspective trick to make it look bigger than it actually was. It doesn't work.
No,
Keyword tried.
It does not work at all.
I've seen more.
Anyway.
I've seen more convincing scaling on Power Rangers. Also, the tank doesn't work out either because that gets disintegrated.
And the cliffhanger is, keep back or I'll destroy you all. Oh no, the giant robot will destroy us all. Oh no!
It quite literally was only a model.
And then part 4 starts with these brilliant people, apparently, the top tier people, realizing that they came up with this plan for nuclear war, and they may not have the food in the bunker to outlive it.
Yeah,
Best villains ever.
and the
I mean, they're Kuchiri. They're geniuses. They know rocket science. Clearly, they deserve to treat us like peons.
they're playing 5D
no,
chess.
see, you're all missing the point. The point is that they all work for Vault Tech.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
They're playing
Oh,
5D
no, the
chess.
jumpsuits make sense now. The jumpsuits make sense.
They're playing 5D chess, and they just put themselves in check.
Yeah, but Kedwell's like, oh yeah, you guys are doing really good with this whole bluffing. They're totally gonna listen to us before you nuke the world. Right? Right?
We're
What?
not bluffing, honey. We're
You're-
just not.
Wait, you're actually going to blow up the fucking world? Oh, well, I mean,
The countdown starts.
shut
And
me to the locker now when New York is a cinder, bastards!
He tries to actually stop the countdown and gets a gun pulled on him by the Jellicle Cat. I'm not stopping. I'm
not disabusing you of that notion.
Well, Sarah and Harry are working to escape.
Oh, this is great. So they in part 3 he's coming to. I won't say it again so soon, but he's coming to get the gun to the robot. He's come to fetch the robot. So he goes into the bunker, and Harry and Sarah have already got halfway through their bonds, and as they hear the door close, they just throw their hands behind their back quick.
Cute.
But it works, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then for some reason, the Jellicle Cat and Winters just don't kill them, even though they're useless as hostages right now.
They're basically like, we're busy right now. Once we nuke the world, then we can kill them.
Yeah, because we haven't got enough mouths to feed.
Yeah.
Or
But
we've
they're
got
also
too many
like-
mouths to feed.
Yeah.
And that turns pretty bit of downfall because at that moment, Harry has got 3 of his bonds and tries to do a James Bond moment, and he kind of succeeds.
Punches he punches Jellicoe's lights out.
Yeah. And
Kettlewell
knowing full well
halts the
what's about
countdown.
to happen here, there's a fight between the Jellicoe Cat and Harry.
Cat.
It's a pretty short fight.
It's a fight, if you would please.
Oh, it is a fight.
Thank you very much. Right.
Thank you.
It's a pretty short-lived fight. It's a pretty one-sided fight.
In fact, that sound that Cat just played was the length of the fight.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
Pretty much.
So the Doctor, meanwhile, is going to get Unit to distract the robot while he cuts the lock, but that there's no need for that because then Kettlewell, Harry, and Sarah come out and they're trying to tell the robot not to kill the Doctor.
Yeah, that goes well.
Yeah, that goes really well. Then Kettlewell gets disintegrated.
And the robot goes, Father!
Kill the one who created me.
I have killed the one who created me.
Why does the robot sound like Tom Hardy in Dark Knight Rises?
I don't
You'll just have to imagine the fire of that man. Yes, I did cover my mouth. That's the only way to do that impersonation.
Perhaps he's wondering.
I have killed the person who created me.
We both know I have to kill you.
Why someone would shoot a man before throwing him out for play?
Nerds.
Oh, come on, you've seen that film.
No, I haven't actually.
Oh.
We're all here are nerds.
It's not as good as The Dark Knight, but it's all right.
Is it wrong if is it wrong that I say I'm not a fan of The Dark Knight, but I love Batman Begins?
No, you're allowed to have that opinion.
Anyway, let's all watch Batman and Robin and have a fun time.
As opposed to me, if I say that
No.
that Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker was not the best Joker out there, I get cancelled. What's up with that?
No, we all know that
Anyway.
Mark Hamill's the best Joker.
Anyways, with the robot apparently, down for the count, the Doctor and Unit go in, only to find that Winters has restarted the countdown. Oops.
Yeah, kind of a problem that.
I know the quadratic equation! Chicago's toast!
So the fast typing comes back into play because the Doctor's like, oh no, a normal person wouldn't have the ability to type in all the codes as fast as possible, and then all of a sudden the timer stops, but I'm not a normal person.
Okay, but can we also mention that Winters is like playing chicken with the Brigadier? The Brigadier's got the gun and he's like, stop that countdown. Oh, Brigadier, you won't shoot me. And then Sarah picks up a gun and she's like, but I will, bitch!
Yeah.
I won't hesitate, bitch.
But she doesn't have to shoot her because the Doctor stops the countdown instead.
Because, like you said, the rapid typing does the thing. Hey, everything's okay. Everyone's presumably been arrested. All these fascists. But,
Oh man, it's I wonder what they're going to do for the last 15 minutes of this episode. Oh wait, it's King Kong now.
It is
Yeah.
King Kong now,
Well-
yeah.
Well, it doesn't. Isn't quite there yet. So the robot has reawakened and kidnapped Sarah, and basically, it's like, oh, I have no purpose in my life anymore. But humanity is evil, so I'm going to destroy it. But do not worry, Sarah, because you cared. You alone will survive.
I'm sorry, I can't get over how
You're
much
doing her a fucking favor there, buddy.
I can't get over how much you voicing the robot sounds like Tom Hardy. I just can't.
So.
Well, here's the thing: Tom Hardy, Dark Knight Rises is basically a bad Sean.
We both know I have to. We both know I have
really
to
think?
kill you now.
So the robot decides that it's time that the only thing that it can do is possibly carry out what he thinks is Kettlewell's last orders. And I do not apologize this, but it's time for the final countdown.
No, don't apologize.
So yeah, the robot restarts the countdown, and that's bad. Oh dear. But
No.
It said that the whole drama of this is completely negated because they just activate a failsafe.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you were a little tense there for a couple minutes once they realize, oh, what's going on? They call the world powers and are like, hey, we're dealing with some shit here. Cancel the fucking detonation, would you?
Also, two things. Firstly, the idea that he's going to destroy the world, but don't worry, you alone will survive, Sarah Jane. And secondly, we meet a unit soldier who's actually the most clever unit soldier in the whole platoon because he survives.
Because he's like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Sarah says, don't fire on it, just go. It's okay.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
All you have to do is just ask.
Just
You don't
go,
have to
it's
do it
okay. And he does.
And he takes her.
And the brig sees him running out. It's like, what the hell's going on? And that's how they know that the robot has revived and is inside the bunker. So the failsafe has been activated. It's over now, isn't it? No.
No.
It's time for King Kong.
Well, first off, we have the Doctor and Harry go off to go to Kettlewell's lab because we get the re-mention of the whole living metal virus thing. Oh no! Who took Mr. Chekhov's guns off the shelf? Oh no!
And then we have a rare moment where the Brigadier makes a mistake. Because
the Doctor's fucking around.
The robot's there, making threats and demands. The planet will be destroyed. It's like, I've got just the thing here. He takes the disintegrator and he goes, Magic Wand, make my monster grow!
Uh-oh.
What he actually says is, this time we won't need the Doctor. And then he starts firing, and then unfortunately, for some bullshit reason...
It's not a bullshit reason. Do you remember how it's a living
Agitates
metal?
the living metal, I guess.
Yeah, no, they explain this.
energy.
They do explain this.
I don't know.
Because it's living metal, it absorbs the energy from the gun. Instead of disintegrating, it grows to enormous size.
And parts of the body disappears because of a blue screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this robot represents a bold attempt from the studio where they tried to mix outdoor location shooting with blue screen effects.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Because, like I said, the robot's reflective, so parts of it just fucking disappear when it catches the reflection of the whatever they're trying to key out.
It's Steve Carell. It's Steve Carell's green pants in Anchorman 2.
Oh my god.
So the robot takes Sarah Jane, one of his claws.
And the movie, the story, like I said, basically becomes King Kong.
And Sarah Jane turns into a doll.
Gets put onto a building, and of course, Sarah Jane looks horrible blue screened on this building.
And And I mean, like you said, yeah, Sarah Jane turns into a doll because they were raiding this toy store. They got the tank and they got the little doll too. See?
And can I just say, the scene of Unit basically hiding in someone's front garden in order to be able to shoot at this robot is the most absurd thing I've ever seen.
You just
it's
imagine...
like literally a front garden.
Oh, what are you doing? You got to step on me flowers.
And speaking of stepping on things, pitched battle between the robot and the Unit happens. Unit do not do very well out of this. One person just gets crushed to death immediately.
Crushed to death, you say? I say, oh no! They put the blue screen over him as he lies down on the grass.
Yeah, it's not a very convincing effect, but.
Yeah. So
the worst effect in this 4-part.
The giant foot from Monty Python's Flying Circus comes down.
I think all the money was put into parts 1 through 3, and then by part 4 they were just like, "Welp."
No, do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think?
But yeah, the Doctor and Harry find the metal virus formula, and the Doctor drives by in Bessie with a fucking bucket full of the stuff.
Wait, let's back up. What kind of bucket is it?
Plastic bucket?
I think it was a metal bucket.
Yeah.
There's
a metal-eating virus in a metal bucket.
Yeah, this is why the bucket is like bulging and melting and shit, because it's like getting eaten. Because I guess that's the only bucket he had? I don't fucking know. Either way, the Doctor drives by the robot, he throws the bucket of shit on it, and now we're Wizard of Oz. I'm melting!
Father!
I am not orange! Why am I orange?
And, the robot melts away.
I'll tell you why he's orange, because they had to reuse the effects from the disintegrator gun.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So,
That would not be
and the
surprised.
robot shrinks down, and just like the metal virus does, it biodegrades away into nothing, leaving no trace. Which, wow, why the fuck didn't you just save this formula and use it for something? Oh well. But we do get a historic thing in the denouement. We get the first instance of Tom Baker, the Fourth Doctor, offering someone a jelly baby.
Yeah.
Oh.
He
offers 2 jelly babies, one to Harry and one to Sarah.
And he's like, well, the heck with you, I'm going off into outer space. You want to come with me? And Sarah's like, yeah. And Harry's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're going to go off in a police box. I know police boxes, Doctor. They can't just go into time and space. Why don't you step inside and see for yourself? And we get Harry Sullivan's big on the inside moment. It's nothing.
I say.
Yeah, it's just I say.
And so they head off, and the brig is like, Doctor, oh, you're having the dinner with you're having the dinner at the Royal Palace tonight. I'll tell him you're gonna be.
There goes the Doctor kidnapping random people again.
They went with him willingly. It's not kidnapping if they're going willingly.
I mean, did Harry know that the Doctor was just going to shut the door and teleport away?
Before all
he
that
said that
happens,
they were going to go on a trip.
We skipped over a rather interesting little thing here where Sarah's actually said about what happened to the robot.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't evil. It'd been programmed like that.
Yeah.
And it was manipulated, and she's like, it
I'm
felt
bad,
human.
just
As well,
drawn
Doc
that
says,
way.
well, it was capable of great good and great evil. So I suppose in many ways it was human. And that's the end of Robot.
Well, to harp on that fact, wasn't there a thing earlier in like part 2 or something where Kettlewell says that he used his brain scans to make the robot's programming?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's like part 1. He said that the robot was based off his brain or something.
Yeah.
He did. So maybe it was part human.
Maybe.
Oh.
We will never know.
We
It's
will
one of
never
those
know.
interesting,
So the Doctor melted someone with feelings and a human brain. Horrible.
Wow.
That's just the
Man,
end of
the
the world
last
again.
time that I thought about the Doctor destroying an inanimate object that technically had a soul and everything was the last time that she threw a TARDIS to the wolves.
I love how your mind went to that instantly, and my mind went to End of the World and Cassandra.
Fuck
man,
Cassandra.
Also,
Man,
don't forget the human flesh. They said that the human flesh felt when it died, and the Doctor just melted fake Amy. And then,
Oh God, yeah.
so the flesh was like, "Oh God, I just melted."
I'll try.
that's
I'll try.
If
I'll
we're
try to
gonna
be
list it-
merciful. Don't give 'em what we know. Just melts her on the spot.
If we list hypocritical crimes the Doctor's committed, we'll be here all night. Shall we wrap up Robot with final
Let's
thoughts?
do that. I think since he's just come back to the show, that Kuchiri should go first.
Oh, yeah, sure, why not?
Fine by me.
All right, so I we've been harking on the whole bad special effects thing, but you can't say it wasn't ambitious. It was very ambitious. The story could have worked if it didn't try to combine the whole let's be eco-friendly with Nazis. I mean, it's like, yeah, this is a good thing, being eco-friendly, save the world, save the planet. Combine that with Nazis, then you just make being eco-friendly kind of moot. Basically, you're comparing being eco-friendly with flat earthers. We all know how that goes these days. But if it was any other Doctor, I think I would have just hated these episodes, but Tom Baker just carried the hell out of this serial. Like, if it was any other Doctor, I don't think it would have been even a fourth as good as it is.
A fourth.
Yeah, fourth. I honestly did plan that.
Ah,
Yeah. That all you got?
No, that's all I got. It's just
Alright.
it's not a bad episode. It was ambitious, and I think it would have been a horrible episode if, like even let's say they remade it today with the same effects, but put like Matt Smith or David Tennant in there. I don't think they would have had the same ability to carry that script as Tom Baker had.
Yeah. So it's interesting you say that because with me, basically, this is just a John Pertwee era episode, like a mid-range John Pertwee era episode that just so happens to have Tom Baker in it because John Pertwee just regenerated. Otherwise, like in plotting and like setting and all that, it's functionally just a John Pertwee story. And the Tom Baker era arguably really starts with Ark in Space, where they go with the brave and bold new tone of we're gonna do a grittier, scarier show. But this is just, it's fine. Tom Baker does very good with it, and like the whole thing you mentioned with mixing eco-friendly with wants to kill millions of people, ha 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 ha, was already done before, even a season prior, in a John Pertwee story called Invasion of the Dinosaurs. It's the same sort of thing. Eco-friendly people who want to save the planet by killing millions of people. So not really making them look good. Not really making, environmentalism look good. And that's a flawed story, but which also has pretty bad effects. So there's a lot there going on. I don't know if I prefer that one to this, but this is fine. Effects are not great, but I can appreciate the campy charm of shit Doctor Who effects. I love the rubber snake and Kinda, for instance. Science fascists, not the greatest villains for a first Doctor story, but it's fine. It got Tom Baker going. He's probably the best part of it, and his era got off to a much better start with stories like Ark in Space and Genesis of the Daleks. So, Rain or Cat?
Would it be alright if I went next, Kat?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, this is a very interesting choice to be Tom Baker's first story. Because I think Joe's hit the nail on the head. It is just a leftover John Pertwee story. It feels like it. Just not starring John Pertwee. It has its moments. It's a great first outing for Tom Baker in some of the wild things he gets to do. But also at the same time, he's not on the screen for half of it. It feels like. I also think that Sarah Jane gets some good stuff to do in this. And, the whole moral implications of the robot. Is it human? Is it a robot? Could it actually feel? Is it evil? Is it good? That's all interesting stuff. And then the villains ruin it because it's just science Nazis. And what can you really do with science Nazis other than taking over the world? They're just too one-dimensional. It's not bad, it's not good, it's in the middle, I think. And I do want to mention one other thing that I forgot to mention earlier. This is very similar, if you take out the whole science Nazi aspect, this is very similar to an 60s Avengers story called The Cybernauts, which is nothing to do with the Cybermen, by the way. It's completely different. But that has...
John Steed.
Yeah, John Steed Avengers. And that has robotic men breaking into government buildings, killing people, and taking components for a weapon.
Stands.
And the Cybernauts was at least 10 years earlier than this, so they may have ripped that off somewhat.
Maybe they did.
Maybe they did. Also, the Cybernauts star Michael Goff.
Oh, him again.
Yes, that Michael Goff. Alright, I'm done.
Cool. Is cereal a soup?
I'm not
Good
even going to
review.
pretend I know what that's talking about.
No, I'm just curious. Do you guys think cereal is a soup?
No, but I won't fault anyone for thinking it is.
Because there are cold soups.
There's gazpacho, isn't there?
Yes.
Cosmono soup. Is there a point to this?
I'm just. No, I just wanted to.
She's
ask
making
if
fun of how I
cereal-
call this cereal.
Oh.
No,
'Cause
there's no
I-
point to that. There's none whatsoever. Anyways, cereal was pretty good. It had some hokey moments, which I kind of expect from classic Doctor Who stuff. Tom Baker, always fantastic. Love him. I don't really have anything new to say that hasn't already been said before. Just, it was a good episode, or a good serial. I always get those mixed up, and I hate that. It was a good serial, had some problems. Kind of wish we didn't do fascists again, but I didn't know at the time, so what you gonna do? So I think that this was a pretty good introduction to the Fourth Doctor. I kind of wish that he was a little bit more in it, if that makes sense. Cause it just, to me, it feels like it focuses more on everybody else, and then the Doctor just happens to be there. Because there's a lot of the time that he spends asleep or otherwise unable to do anything. Did you guys get that sense as well?
I mean,
Yeah.
kinda, but also, he's a lot more active than some other doctors in their regeneration stories.
Yeah, but, it still felt weird to me.
You haven't seen John Pertwee's, like I said, but he legitimately is like in bed for half the story.
Isn't that basically what happened with David Tennant as well? Was he was just in bed for quite some
Absolutely,
time?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Christmas invasion
so
feels
what
like a
we're
homage
saying-
to that whole thing.
So what we're saying is, after Whittaker regenerates, we just want a time skip, just so we could just not have to deal with the regeneration story again.
Whittaker regenerates, and 6 months later, Hugh Grant is the Doctor.
Oh,
Please
God.
no.
That's the
Please
new
no.
rumor, isn't it?
That is
No,
the new rumor.
I do not want Hugh Grant to be the Doctor. Anything but another white guy.
I mean, I'm okay,
Anything but a
I'm
white
okay
guy.
with like Hugh Grant being like the 15th Doctor, but we do need.
You know what I kind of want to see coming up? It's kind of like I think Kuchiri had had an idea like this, and I may have just stolen it, but I don't really remember, so I'm very sorry if it is. But I would love it for like the 13th Doctor just start regenerating, and then the scene cuts, and we go to like a random place like so much time later, and we don't know who the Doctor is until like somebody steps forward and says, "By the way, I'm the Doctor," and that's how we get the reveal.
I could see that working. I don't think they'll do it.
No, they
I
won't.
know they won't.
Not
I know they won't.
with like how. I know we're going way off subject here, but not with like how the last like 4 Doctors been announced and the build up and all that stuff. Like,
Going way off subject. Welcome back to the Doctor Who podcast.
I think the way
Thank
you
you.
get around that, by the way, of removing the surprise of who the Doctor is, you should announce the 2 actors playing the Doctor and the Companion, but don't say who's playing who.
Yeah.
Just say
Well, I
these
mean,
are
we
our 2
already
leads.
know that we already know that it's not the winner of Wimbledon who's going to be the Doctor. It's whoever they put in Fortnite. So
oh God. No, but Kat. Yeah. So my whole idea was, there's all the rumors about David Tennant coming back. Cut the regeneration. Cut the regeneration. Start the next episode with like bring back David Tennant, but just have the whole reveal be David Tennant's like the Master, and somehow the Master got this face and hates it.
No, because that would remove Sacha
that's-
Dhawan as the Master.
Sasha
Like,
is still a good Master, but I'm just saying, like, but the thing
Yeah.
is, with everything being timey-wimey, why couldn't you still have that be the reveal, Sasha show up, and then later on, like, for the series finale, just have Sasha regenerate to the Tenant Master and have that be the, I don't know.
I've just had an even better idea for the regeneration. The Doctor regenerates, it cuts to black, the TARDIS materializes somewhere, and then the TARDIS doors open up, and then David Tennant is thrown out, and the new Doctor says, "And stay out!"
I approve. I approve. I approve.
Like Jazz with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
do we know if it's intended for Jodie to regenerate in the special, like the 60th special?
We don't know for certain.
It's either going to be the 3rd special this year or the 60th special.
It would
I
certainly
was
be
gonna
a
say that'd
twist.
be a great follow-up to the 60th special. Is have David Tennant in it, and then in the next episode the new Doctor throws him out.
I believe the plan is for Jodie to regenerate at the end of the 100th anniversary of the BBC special in October.
So that's the 3rd special this year.
Yeah. And then the new Doctor the new Doctor might be taking over for the 60th anniversary of the show, or it might be this Legacy Doctor series that they're talking about. We honestly don't know.
I would love to see their take on the 5 Doctors. Just bring everyone back for something.
I'm sorry, but the BBC's track record with how they've been going about getting information about this series out is appalling, because all the stuff we have to go on is rumor.
Yeah. But isn't that how everything... Isn't that how everything's been? Isn't that how everything's been for like the last 15 years? There's rumor.
No, they had official
way
press
worse in the
releases.
Chibnall era.
They were so much better
Like-
with releasing information in the RTD era.
Kuchiri, they didn't release the air date of the Halloween Apocalypse until like a month beforehand, and they deleted the Twitter account for 3 days with no explanation.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
It's like, it's so disastrous that it's like, at some point, I'm like, is Chibnall going to start killing people to protect the series from being known?
Yeah, I think at some point I made the joke that eventually we would get the series, but not until like a month after it's already premiered.
Oh, God.
It's like, Kuchiri, have you seen Paradise Towers, the Seventh Doctor story?
No. So, my whole experience has just been the Fourth Doctor and for Classic Who.
Well, one, that's a good story, and two, spoilers, but that story has an architect who like builds a perfect city, and perfect like apartment complex or whatever, and then like builds a bunch of death traps in because he doesn't want people living in it because it would ruin his perfect vision. That's kind of like what Chibnall feels like sometimes when he's withholding information. I've made the perfect series.
You saw my my post whenever I was going through the 29 episodes. I said Chibnall basically did the Timeless Child as if, oh, I see you coming back, RTD, fix this mess.
Well, I mean, the timeline doesn't add up there, but yeah, it does feel sometimes like it's like, perfect series, no one must ever know a thing about it! But we've been rambling for a long fucking time, so what are we doing next on this show?
Well, if you're asking me, you're asking the wrong person. Because I'm not choosing it next week.
I wasn't told to choose something, so I haven't chose anything.
Yeah, I forgot to do this, but I think that Kuchiri should have the choice.
Oh, God.
2 hours later.
So, Kuchiri, what you picking?
So after, like, 10 minutes of deliberation, doing Warriors of the Deep.
Yeah, you may not have heard that because he was laughing over it. Next time, Warriors of the Deep. He did it. He did it. The mad bastard did it.
Oh.
And funny
If
enough,
you'll need me, I'll be in my trailer.
I was just talking about Ingrid Pitt the other day on the Discord, and now this happens.
Well, we are going to have it. Well, we're going to have covered every Sea-Boy story leading up to Legend of the Sea-Boys.
Yeah,
That's
all two
something.
of them.
All two of them. And you're going to see why this particular Doctor Who baddie hasn't appeared in almost 40 years.
Yeah, and even better, I don't think this is giving anything away. This is widely believed to be the episodes that got the show cancelled.
Well,
Oh,
Oh
God.
boy!
I mean, you're not wrong, Rainiac. I mean, I would
Wait,
call
I
it
don't know. Which Doctor is this?
Fifth.
Fifth. Okay.
Peter Davison.
It's Davison and I want to say Tegan,
Tegan and Turlough,
but not Nissa.
Ah.
but not Nissa.
Nissa are god at this point, right?
Nissa, we watched Nissa leave in
Yes,
Terminus.
this was after Terminus.
Also, fun fact, this is the opening to season 21, a season which ended with a little story called The Twin Dilemma. So, really bookending that season, huh?
We've nearly done all that season now when we've done this.
We still have a couple that we haven't done. Yeah. But anyway, God help us, we are going to talk about Warriors of the Deep next week, 4 of us. But Rainiac, where can you find us 4 lovely people?
You can find us 4 lovely people on Twitter at ReviewsDoctor. You can also find us individually at Rainiac the Maniac, at Freezing Inferno, at Concave Usurper, and at Destroyer of Worlds. I mean, at the Kuchiri. He picked Warriors of the Deep. What am I supposed to say?
Well, okay. I still say you should at least have some part of that conversation left.
I mean, there might be, but
Hi,
maybe,
Booper Reel.
at least you get to you get to actually now watch this and find out if it was there at the end. Jerry.
What are you?
Playing Frez for
Wow.
this?
Well, You're throwing shade at me. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything crazy. I didn't pick Warriors of the Deep.
True. I mean, it was going to get picked at some point. We know it was going to get picked at some point. We may as well get it over with. Anyway, back to the thing. You can also find. You can. Oh my god.
You can find us on Twitch.
Hey, Kuchiri, question. How do you feel about Doctor Who critical analysis books?
Books? I have not read anything critical analysis.
Great, because there's this great book you can read. It's called Back to the 11th Hour, written by Krista McTeer, and it talks about the 11th Doctor.
Soon,
good.
Soon to
It's
have a
available
volume
on
2.
Amazon.com.
Soon to have a second volume.
Soon to have a second volume coming out in April on Series 6.
I'm 32 years old. What the fuck am I doing with my life right now?
Spending it with your favorite people.
You're not Chris.
Oh my god.
Your second favorite people?
Let's go with third favorite people.
I'll take it.
Settle!
What?
Anyway,
What the hell did you just shout?
I yelled bronze medal.
Oh, right, because it cut out. But
Anyways, you can also
anyway,
find us on Twitch.
well, you can find everyone except me on Twitch.
Get it?
Twitch.tv /
Sucks to
Freezing
be you,
Inferno.
Radiac.
Twitch.tv / Concave Usurper. And Kuchiri is found at.
The Kuchiri.
Is a Kuchiri on Twitch as well?
It's the Kuchiri.
Okay,
Again.
And
so
as soon
Twitch-
as Rainiac spends 40 pounds on a VTuber avatar, you'll find him on Twitch.
Oh god.
I am not making myself to a VTuber.
Why not? It's fucking great! Look at me!
Frez, you know what we should do? We should pool our money together and make him a VTuber for him, but it's all mirrors.
You can also find us on YouTube.
I'll get myself a VTuber avatar to stop
I am
it from happening.
DMing you my bank details as we speak.
Oh,
Holy shit, he actually
am I being
did.
blackmailed on my own podcast to get a VTuber avatar?
I am trying to move past Rainiac. I really am. You can believe me, buddy.
I appreciate that. It's not going to work. Once these two get an idea, it happens. It just manifests. So,
Say goodnight, Rainiac.
good night, Rainiac. And
What do you mean it has to be shaped like a snake, Frez?
Oh god.
that could mean so many things out of context. It's not even funny.
I miss you guys.
Yeah, we'll go with it.
So, thank you to the audience for listening to us talk about what was it again? Robot? Yeah, Robot. Let's go with that.
Oh, we were talking about Robot? I forgot.
I mean, we were barely talking about Robot. We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you to these lovely people talking about Robot with me. Join us next time when, God help us, Peter Davison stars in Warriors of the Deep. And until then, remember...
Warriors on the cheap.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
And remember, hard work pays off, dreams come true, bad times don't last, but bad guys do.
All right.
God, you
So,
really like to
I'll-
increase my editing workload, don't you, you three?
Hey.
Me,
But anyway, the
just
clown
don't
outfit is
hit the
also
button.
rejected by the Brigadier with a sad shake of the head. And we finally get...
Someone said hit the button.
Doctor Who Mirror Alert. Whoop, 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 whoop.
What?
What? I heard hit the button and I just did it.
Cat's working on reefs.
Who said hit the button? It wasn't me.
No. That's Kat's evil plan. She has a button where one of us just says hit the button that she can just play.
I
and
am
then
getting
she's
I am getting gaslit something hard in my own podcast. I don't like
Someone
it.
said hit the button.
I am getting gaslit hard in my own podcast. I don't like it.
No, you're not. No, you're not, Rainiac. You're acting. You're so irrational.
You're being real crazy right now, Ryan. It's weird.
I'm a bit crazy, but I'm not stupid. So
Anyway, 3,
What are you
2,
talking about,
1.
Mariah Carey? There's nobody named Mariah Carey. Who does that?
Can we?
Yes, let's go back to it.
3, 2, 1. Rain, that was your cue to talk about.
I know, but I'm still
story.
laughing. I'm still
Anyway,
laughing.
so
There's
after-
no such thing as Mariah Carey. How can I recover from that in like a second? Come on.
Easy,
Okay.
like this. 3, 2, 1.
Can I also say I like the bit where back at Think Tank you get like a sort of a split screen, well not a split screen bit, but you like simultaneous scenes where Think Tank are like he didn't buy it, did he? No, and then it's like they didn't buy it. Did they think we believed them? No, and they know that we don't believe them.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
the
I
symmetry
literally
there.
just talked about that, just like a bit before.
I was thrown off by
sloth
twerking
gif.
Thanos. Okay.
I talked about it before Thanos was even posted, so
Jackson!
fuck you. Fuck you.
Like that. Hold it.
Oh wait, you want an objection? Do you want a fucking objection?
No.
And I'm going to cut this bit out from here, but you say you've only done the fourth you know the Fourth Doctor era and the modern era.
Basically, and I've seen like I've gone back when all the classic Who was on Netflix. I kind of got like halfway through season 1.
Right.
With,
So
Hartnell.
your choice is limited then to season 1, or the Fourth Doctor, or the modern era,
Or you could pick a blind one.
or you pick a
Like,
blind one
pick a blind
that we
one.
haven't done yet.
Is there like an
Let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. Kuchiri, pick something and we'll tell you if we've done it yet or not.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
was
Edit
going
this
to
bit out.
ask if there was like an Excel sheet just with everything
No.
nice and tidy.
No,
Um,
but just pick one and we'll save it yes or no, and then we'll do the official reveal. This bit's not going in.
Actually, that'd be a really good idea, is to make an Excel sheet or something.
Yeah, we'll do that
Yeah,
next time.
get on that, Rainiac.
Yeah, Brainiac.
God damn.
do you want me to
No,
make the
I'll
Excel
do
sheet?
it. I'll do
Okay.
it. I'll do it.
I
I'll
could do the Excel sheet though too.
I can
do
do an
it.
Excel
I'll
sheet.
do
I
it.
already have a Word document of all the ones we've done, so it wouldn't be that hard to port over.
I have my
do
memory.
you
of all the
want
ones
do
we've
you
done.
want to do the like series 11, 12, just not like a retrospective, like you guys don't have to rewatch all of it, but like do you just
Just
want
pick an episode. Just pick an
Yeah,
episode.
we did a
Doesn't matter. We'll
retrospective.
tell you if we've done
We've
it
done a
or not.
retrospective.
He's talking about Chibnall era that he watched.
like a 3 years later thing?
Not for all the tea in China.
I wouldn't mind doing like a mini podcast where we talk about your going through that in like a week or whatever the fuck.
10 days. It was 10 days. I watched all of it.
Jesus
Hey,
Christ!
I want you guys to know I've been actually at work this whole time. I love working from home.
If we're gonna do that, we should do that after the Sea Devil episode.
Yeah.
The Sea Boy episode, yes.
Oh god,
We-
I don't
we
even
have
know
a
what to
date for
talk
now.
about.
Which we have like leaked again because Chibnall
Yeah, in
was
the
like,
most
"No, no,
Chibnall
no,
era thing of all time, BBC America released it, and then nothing was revealed.
What's a good seed that like I know the Doctor has dealt with them in the past. What's a good one to just watch?
There are no good ones. We did the one possibly good one.
We did the Sea
and it
Devils,
wasn't
and then that's
good.
it.
And then the other one is complete shit. Nobody likes it.
They never came back until now.
Yeah, they never came back. With
So
the
that one
Marca.
then.
They
So
never
that
came
God
back
damn
with the
it!
Marca.
God damn.
Oh, shit.
No, you guys gotta add this in. You have to add this in.
Oh,
Hey,
no.
Kuchiri, why don't you just pick the arc and get it over with?
Don't tempt him.
Don't make me use my veto.
Cat, we've already dealt with Nazis twice. I don't think I can deal with the arc.
If he wants to pick Warriors of the Deep, I'm fine with that being the official pick, but you've brought this on yourself. If you are prepared to accept the fact you brought this on yourself, I will say, right, 3, 2, 1, and we'll go with that.
So it's called Warriors of the Deep.
Okay? He's done it.
Oh my!
We're
sweet
live
Jesus.
again. We're live again.
Hi, blooper
In
reel.
3,
No, you,
2, 1.